Well, my name is Brian Turner. I'm a kitchen manager for Wade's in Spartanburg, South Carolina. A very legendary restaurant, been in business for 70 years, and actually it is now into the hands of the third generation. We are a meat and three. Anybody in Spartanburg, if you ask them, hey, where's Wade's? They'll know exactly. We do our food from scratch cooking. Matter of fact, our cooks get there at 7 o'clock in the morning to start the process, even though we don't open until 10:45. And our guests just absolutely love us. We do get a lot of repeat business and a lot of generational families that come in and eat with us. Well, the ownership of Wade's actually has been alumni for over 10 years with Pals. Now, personally, I had not heard of Pals, but when I actually interviewed, they talked about Pals and what Pals can offer and the insight for help us to be more successful in running our restaurant. So I've been there for about almost a year and a half. And I was excited the entire time, like, what's Pals about, what's going on? And so they really kind of sold it to me and just said, look, keep an open mind, go and learn what you can learn, and then let's see what we can learn from them to come back and make us more successful as a one standing individual restaurant. Well, one of the things, no doubt, is you gotta have a brand standard and you gotta hit it 100% of the time. And the way we do that is not by being ordinary, but being extraordinary, which simply means what are you going to do differently that other managers or restaurants are not willing to do? And the second thing that really has stood out to me is, how to hire the right people. And I believe it starts with making a connection with them early in the process. So one of the things I want to do when I go back is really create a mentorship program where we're making a connection early and often with all new employees, not just from a management perspective, but also from an employee perspective to make them feel more comfortable, because we do get a lot of first-time jobbers. And I've talked to a lot of them on orientation day, and they're like, I'm nervous, I don't know what this is about. And then once they work for a couple hours, they realize, this is not as bad. But what I'd like to do is try to take that nervousness away earlier. And so that way they're coming more in with an open mind and can be more productive from day one. It's like Bill at the Pals location here, how he spends so much time with interviewing, and really getting to know that person from the individual onset versus waiting till they've been there for 2 or 3 weeks and then trying to get to know them. And that's kind of the one thing that I took away is, man, we really need to get to know our people early, what they're about. Again, let them know what we're about and what our expectation is, so that when they start day one, they understand what their responsibility is versus them making mistakes and then us going, well, that's not the way we do things. And we did not tell them up front. Because I think it's unfair, it's a disadvantage, and I think morale lowers when you handle things like that. Well, the class actually gives you general information that you can carry back and really alter it to run your business. It's not, hey, this is the way Pals does it, and if you don't do it our way, it's not going to work. It's, here's our philosophy, here's our strengths, here's the things we've tested and we know work best. Now, take those principles and see how you can apply them to what you do and be successful at it. And I know that Wade's as a whole has already done that. For one example is the toolbox. I've seen the toolbox at Bill's store, how organized it is. Wade's has a toolbox. Everything is in its place and where it should be, and there's a picture that shows you where everything goes. So I know that the principles that they've learned in the past do work when you apply them. I just want to take the principles that I've learned, because we all come in from different experiences and we all will walk out with different thoughts. Even though we hear the same thing maybe, we kind of look at it differently. And I know that when I go back, I can take the thoughts I have and the insight that I've gotten from here and be able to apply it so that we can strengthen our standard, because our goal is we do want to open other restaurants if possible. We don't really want to stick with just the one building, but we're all in agreement that if you're not doing it 100% right in one building, you're not going to do it 100% right in 2 or plus buildings. Man, when I go back, I've actually already started it on Facebook. Hamp, who's the owner of Wade's, we were conversing back and forth last night, and just the excitement of being able to hear what's being done here, but then going to a local store and actually seeing it. You know, because a lot of times when you're in leadership and management classes, they talk a good talk, but they really don't visually prove their principles to you. They show them on screens, they show them in books. But to be able to see it in real life action, I know that what you're doing works, and I know we can take forms of that and make it work for us as well. Insightful. That would be my experience here. The one word would be insightful. There's a lot of things that I knew because I've been in the industry for a long time, but now I'm kind of looking at them from a different direction and a different way of thinking and trying to think outside that box a little bit. And again, being extraordinary. Be willing to do things that others are not willing to do. And that's just really stuck with me the entire time. I had the bacon Pals burger, which was awesome, and the Frenchie fries. I'd never had fries like that. I love the seasoning that was on it. And then I'm not a big milkshake person per se, but I wanted to try it and absolutely loved it. It was fantastic.